In this video, you will learn how to use sketch parameters to drive a parametric design in Fusion 360. Parameters are a powerful toolset that can be used to drive and edit multiple dimensions from one single named parameter. You can create predefined parameters with a value, then assign that one parameter to multiple dimensions, as opposed to individually set values. One benefit of this is that you only need to edit the one parameter value, and any changes will propagate across all dimensions with the same reference. Let's explore this in a bit more detail. To access the Parameters dialog, go to the Modify drop-down and select Change Parameters. Once the dialog appears, you will see we have three options: Favorites, User Parameters, and Model Parameters. Favorites are commonly used parameters that you want to access quickly. For a more complex design, these can be particularly useful. User parameters are those which are created by you, the user, and if you already have some known dimensions, you could start populating these before even creating a sketch. Model parameters are those which are automatically generated when you create any 2D or 3D geometry. And if you expand this drop-down, you can see there are expression values which match those created in our design. To exit this dialog, press Escape on your keyboard or click the OK button. In this example, you can see the dimensions placed on the sketch, and to edit these, you just need to double-click on the dimension, enter a new value, and press Enter on your keyboard. If you have dimensions that are specific to certain geometry, then simply entering a value here is a reasonable workflow. However, if you have multiple geometry that shares a common value, potentially across multiple sketches, then this is where you may find parameters a more useful tool to use. Go ahead and open the Parameters dialog box once more, this time by pressing S on your keyboard to bring up the search dialog, then typing in Parameters and left-clicking on it. Next to User Parameters, click on the plus symbol to open the Create Parameter dialog. Here you can enter a memorable name, the units, and the expression or value you want to use. Enter a name, leave as millimeters for now, and put in a value in the expression box. Then press OK. You can see the parameter has now been populated in the User Parameters section, and you are now ready to start using this in your design. Finally, one further way to create parameters is directly in the sketch environment itself. When creating a sketch feature, if you enter a parameter name in the dialog, followed by an equal symbol, then the value, after you press enter and head back to the parameters dialog, you will see this parameter automatically favorited from the model parameters section. This is useful if you want to quickly set and name parameters on the fly whilst modeling, without having to continuously enter the parameters dialog. Press OK or Escape on your keyboard to exit the dialog box, then double-click on the radius value set on the arc to edit it. Here you can start to type any character that is in the user parameter just created, and you will see it populate as an option. If you select it, you will see the name appear in the dialog and turn black, indicating that this is a valid parameter. Press Enter on your keyboard to confirm. The dimension has now updated to match this parameter value, as opposed to an individually set value, which is confirmed as you see an FX preceding the value. To also confirm, if you double-click on the parameter, you will still see the parameter name and not the actual value. Open up the Parameters dialog box once more and edit the value by double-clicking on it, entering a new value, and pressing Enter. You can see how the geometry is updated without having to enter the dimensions on the canvas. To show how this might be useful, let's go back to the canvas and edit the sketch slightly. You can delete any constraint by selecting and deleting, and when these are deleted, the sketch turns blue, meaning it is not fully constrained. Open up the Dimension tool by pressing D on your keyboard, then select the arc. Now, enter that same parameter name you just created and press Enter. You can see the same FX expression with the value next to it. Go back into the Parameters dialog box once more and change the value. You will see how you only need to edit one value, and any dimensions with that parameter reference will update accordingly. This is particularly useful with more complex assemblies, but hopefully you can appreciate how much time and effort this may save going forwards with your designs. Now you know how to use the sketch parameters to drive a parametric design in Fusion 360. Thanks for watching.